Hi, I'm OutofDarts. I am finally back with a new design, and I will do another video at some point to explain where the heck I've been and why there have been no videos. But today, I'd like to show you the HIRmini, or the Hurricane Mini. Now, this is something I've been working on a while because I don't really feel like there's a rival sidearm. The Apollo's kind of lousy without a stock or something else, and it's really kind of too big to be waist mounted. And so I've gone through a lot of iterations, and this is nowhere near final. This is really just a functional version. But what I aimed to make was a single shot, full auto shotgun. And I can't tell you how much fun that is to shoot. This has been a really fun one to run around and play with. I've got to play with it at a few Nobicon games up in Napa. Shout out to those guys, it's a blast playing up there. They've got a really great game going in the Northern Bay area. Now, like I said, this is a work in progress, so what I want from you guys, the audience, and potential Etsy customers, for those of you who don't know, I am running an Etsy shop where I sell a lot of my designs, and I am designing some of my mods, not all of them, but some of them with the shop in mind. My problem with this is that I have way too many versions. And so I'm going to run you through a few different versions now, and if you look down in the comments, you'll see the official names of each of the versions, or at least numbers. And what I'd love for you to do is vote on what you'd like me to actually finish first, because I'm having this terrible completion anxiety right now where I can't finish the project because I keep switching from the one with the flywheels mounted like this, to this version, to the underbarrel, to the overbarrel, and there's just too many versions. So I'm going to run through them really quick, and you guys can tell me what you think. The first one I pulled up is vertical flywheels, much like a normal Nerf blaster. It's using 180 motors, but you can also use 130s. You don't get quite as high FPS. With worker flywheels right now, I'm getting about 90 feet per second. So it's about stock Zeus performance, which out of a little package like this is pretty awesome as far as I'm concerned. So that's version 1 essentially, where we've got flywheels vertical, and that for me is like the most sleek version. It's definitely going to be the most holsterable and the easiest to hold on to. Version 2 is horizontal. And the reason I like this one is that it feels more balanced and it's easy to load. And it's the same functionality. I can't help but smile every time I do that. So that's version 2. Version 3 is an overbarrel, underbarrel. This could be mounted below a blaster like this, up top. I could potentially have a rail mount on it. I will offer different options. But again, it's just the same functionality. I've got a switch to flywheels. In this case, I'm using the blaster parts flywheels. Same deal again. It's all of these are 4 to 6 shots depending on the size, and they're all essentially full auto shotgun because it's kind of like a last ditch effort. One of my favorite versions is very, very much a work in progress. This will be rail mounted and go directly under, say, Strife is probably the best use of it. But again, it's the same thing, but in a really tiny form factor. Now you could run this off a battery pack, which will have a compartment behind it, or it could probably be wired directly to the blaster. So it's another version. Essentially same thing here. I've got a little trigger mechanism on the side. And most of these run on 3S, so they do need a decent sized pack. I've found that the graphene 0.5 packs are going to be really good for it. Moving on from there, the other variations I have, if you haven't noticed already, these are all internal magazines. And what I found that was actually easier to design for than to design for the actual rival mag. However, I have had versions like this one, where the rival mag inserts from the bottom, and it's basically like an Apollo. If anybody saw my previous little goofy short iPhone video, this is where that went. But then I realized Jangular tipped me off to just doing internal mags, which I hadn't even thought of. And I actually kind of find that a better thing to do because this blaster isn't meant to be a keep reloading it and shoot out on the field, though it could be, depending on how you guys vote and what you want to see first. So this is a grip-fed standard mag version. I had also made a version where it was rear-loaded, standard mag. Again, you could use the 12 round from the Zeus or the 7 round from the Apollo. But that's kind of a mouthful, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this and just where you would like to see the project go. Obviously these are, again, very rough prototypes. The final will, of course, be more stylized and have a little bit more going on, and of course, hopefully enclose these flywheels completely so you're not seeing anything. Until next time, I'm OutofDarts.